Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Misfit Gardening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Emma and I'm the owner and author of misfitgardening.com, and this is Ginger, my Rhode Island Red. But I'm not here to tell you about chickens today, she just wanted a cuddle. I'm here to tell you guys about how to get really cheap or even free seeds so you can get your garden off to a great start without having to shell out a small fortune. So stay tuned and find out a bit more. Hello everybody, welcome back. So today's video is all about free seeds or really cheap seeds and how I've been able to get some seeds like for next to nothing. And my number one tip for this is really saving your own seed. So whether that's saving seed from the garden or saving seeds from produce that you've got from the grocery store or the farmer's market, saving seed is probably the most frugal way that you're going to be able to get seeds. Now, this does come with a word of caution, however. If you are going to be saving seed from produce that you've got from the grocery store, for instance, a lot of vegetables and things that are grown for mass markets are actually hybrid varieties. So hybrids have been bred to have, like high yields, high productivity, greater resistance to pests and diseases, those sorts of things. And they're usually denoted by, in the name of the variety, it will say like F1 afterwards. Some of them have that, some of them don't. Some of them are, they have names, they have trademarks, patents, those kind of things all associated with them. So if you are trying to get hold of some produce that you want to save seeds from, your farmer's market, or if you've got a fancy grocery store that does a lot of locally sourced or organic foods, you're going to find it much easier to be able to try and save the seed from there, because it's probably more likely to be a open pollinated or heirloom variety. Certainly heirloom varieties are much easier to be able to save seed from. It won't be true to the variety that that you've just eaten, for example. It might have some differences, but it's a great way to save seed. Farmers markets especially are good for this because they'll more often than not put the variety that are down there. So for example, they could have several different types of beets. They could have a bull's blood beet, or they could have a golden beet, as an example. And that's more often than not a selling point for them. And you can get a great variety of produce, different varieties and things that you'd never see in a store from a farmer's market. And the other great thing about using a farmer's market is that it's usually a local farmer, somebody that's from your area that's able to, grow that. So by saving that seed, you're saving something that's been grown relatively locally. Of course, the best thing is being able to save it directly from your own garden. But if you don't have a garden yet and you're wanting to start, try saving seed from your produce. My number two tip is actually trying out local events, and by that I mean local conservation gardens, local botanical gardens. If your county has an extension office and they host events, go to those. More often than not, during like these events, the cost to get in is usually free or very low, but you'll get free items from them. So for example, I have a local water treatment plant, and they have a water-wise garden, and each year they hold an open day twice a year, and you will get either seeds from there. They give away lip balm, sunscreen, water bottles, those kind of things as well, seeds, plants, and like one year I actually got ladybugs for free, so that was super cool. So that, I think it cost me less than $10 to get in. I actually walked away with a lot of ideas, a lot of information, and you know, a heap of free seeds, which was great. Some other things that you can try is if there's local botanical gardens or conservation gardens, you know, see if they're hosting any events. There's a couple that are near me, and both of them wait for the plane to go over, but both of those local gardens, they host lots of events during this time of year, so it's a great time to go. I mean, you'll meet up with lots of different people there, so it's a great opportunity to network, but also it's a great opportunity to pick up free or really cheap plants and seeds. Some other local things that you can try are local seed swapping events. I would Google search, you know, seed swaps in my area and see what comes up. I know I've missed a lot of mine, you know, just due to work commitments and things, I wasn't able to make them. But you know, that seed swaps are a great way to, you know, get seeds that are really, really cheap and try lots of different varieties without spending too much money. You can also try your local classifieds. You can try Craigslist, Free Cycle, those types of places as well. And you could even try asking on local Facebook groups. So I'm a member of lots of different Facebook groups. One's for urban homesteading, one's for suburban homesteading, one's for normal homesteading. I'm also part of ones for gardening and local garden groups as well, and in almost all of them I always see posts where people have got seeds or plants that they want to trade for something else. So you know, get on Facebook, have a look and see what's available in your area and sign up for those and see what's going. And you know, don't be afraid to ask people, you know, certainly if you're new to an area, you know, like, hey, I'm new to doing this, you know, can you guys tell me if there's, you know, any events that are coming up or when they're usually on. There's definitely a couple of conferences coming up soon for homesteaders as well, and gardeners and things, you know, across the country. So you know, see what's available and, you know, see if it's something that's near you that you'd like to go to, because they're a great way to get freebies as well. My number 3 tip is to ask a friend. You know, people's circumstances change all the time, so it never hurts to ask, especially if you've got friends that are really into gardening and you're just starting out. You know, it never hurts to sort of say, hey, I know that you're really into this and I want to try, so can you help me? You know, you never know, you might have somebody that's like really enthusiastic that, you know, helps you put together, you know, a garden completely and gives you a bunch of, you know, free seeds and veggies as well. So, you know, never underestimate the power of asking. I, you know, used to get seeds all the time from, you know, people who lived near me. There was lots of older people that I knew back in England, and they would often give me seeds and things because they didn't have a way to grow them. So that was a great way that I could get seeds, was just kind of befriending people that read gardening magazines. And that's another way as well, as just, you know, seeing what garden magazines and things are. If you live in the UK, there's definitely 2 or 3 magazines that give away free seeds in many of the issues, so you could sign up for those. If you're based here in the US, there's things like Seed of the Month clubs and you know, local farmers co-ops and things as well that you can check out to get seeds that are, you know, cheaper and are at a discounted rate. Another tip, so this is number 5, would be workshops and classes. So many of the extension offices here have Master Gardener led classes, and and courses and workshops, those kind of things, and for a small fee that covers the materials, you'll usually get something to take home with you. So whether it's, you know, some little succulents or something that you've managed to propagate, or you know, a little mini herb garden that you've grown, you know, they're a good way to check out for free or discounted items. Number 6 is host a party. So if you've missed out, like I have, on a seed swap, there's nothing stopping you from holding your own, you know, and you'll be able to find out, you know, if any of your friends really do have a green thumb or not. You know, everybody bring a packet or 2 of seeds, and, you know, bring a couple of bottles of booze, and, you know, you could have a really good, you know, seed swapping party. So that's another idea, and that one came from Erica over at owningburtonfarm.com. I'd never thought of doing that, to be honest, and I probably should have done, because I've got lots of friends that are just kind of getting into gardening, so that could have been a really great way for, you know, us to have all connected and shared knowledge, and, you know, shared the seeds that we currently had. Number 7 is not throwing out your old seeds. So if you've got seeds that are pretty old, don't throw them out just yet. Try putting them on some damp paper towel and seeing if they will germinate. If they germinate, go ahead and plant them, and, you know, see if you can get plants to grow on from there. And along the same kind of lines is, you know, letting some plants, if you've got some plants that have overwintered that are starting to run to seed, let them do so. You know, you'll end up with free plants that, you know, are growing later on in the year. And my final tip is actually signing up for gardening catalogues or buying online. And this kind of sounds, you know, relatively obvious, but one trick that a lot of companies use to entice you in is, you know, if you spend X amount of dollars, you'll get, you know, so many seed packets for free. And there's a couple of places that I order from all the time online, and that's predominantly where I've gotten my seeds and things from in the last year. You know, if I spend like $100, for example, I'll get 3 free seed packets, and they'll usually come out of varieties that I'm already buying, so that works really well for me. Another technique that other companies use is when you place an order, they will give you, you know, a couple of free seed packets, and it'll be sort of some different variety. So for example, I placed an order and I got 3 packets. I got a packet of carrots, I got some cilantro or coriander to us Brits, and I got you know, a different variety of tomato. Now, it's not something that I'm going to be planting this year because, you know, I've not made plans to accommodate for that, because, you know, we've moved to the raised beds systems and things, so it's not something I can plant this year, but it's definitely something that I could look at doing next year. So that's it. That's my top tips for trying to find free or cheap seeds. I'd love to know what works in your area, so stop by and leave a comment and let all of us other gardeners know, you know, how you guys are going about and getting free seeds or really cheap seeds. We'd love to know.